All right, guys, what's up? It is 420. William, Dale here. Special holidays episode of What's on the Menu
Is this
Daily.
your favorite holiday?
It's not my favorite.
Like, if you had to choose between
Like, if I'm choosing this for Thanksgiving, I'm going Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving and Christmas are up there. So let's say,
I would choose this over Christmas.
would you choose this over 4th of July?
I don't know. 4th of July is a fun day.
It's a fun day,
a
but
great day.
but with different like substances, such as abundance amounts of alcohol. Because I feel like 420 is...
I don't know. Like, dude, like, my take on... I mean, my take on marijuana. Like, if you can use it right and operate it, I think it's a health benefit for a lot of people. And, like, for me, like, I don't know. It's like a glass of wine. You know, like, treat it with care, treat it with caution. Like, everyone has different...
Can you be productive when you're smoking weed?
You know that answer, yeah.
No, but for the audience out there that doesn't know.
Yeah, I can be. Very
Because you
much
know how,
so.
like, some people have to take, what, Adderall?
Yeah. No, I know where this is going. Yeah, I can smoke a blunt and then, like, produce and go about my entire day.
See, I can't really do that. I don't know why.
And be as functional and, I don't know, it kind of, like, levels me. Like, you know me. Like, you can
Does
tell.
it hone in on your ability to focus? Because I feel like it
You know this answer.
kind of dulls me.
You know this answer.
Because it feels like it's
Tell the audience
it
the
feels like-
difference between me waking up without smoking a blunt and me waking up and smoking a blunt.
Well, one, your attitude for sure. You're definitely. It's almost like your proverbial cup of coffee. Like I think you need a blunt more than you need coffee.
Wow. Okay.
But I just feel like that's how you personally.
I was going to say, but do you say that in, like, a good way or a bad way?
A good way, because like you said at the top, you're able to function on it.
Yeah.
Now for me, like I think of it more as like a recreational relaxation method.
Like, it's more of a glass of wine at the end of a long day for you.
Yeah, and even sometimes, like, if I'm feeling too anxious, because I think naturally I have, like, really high levels of anxiety. I think you've seen that.
Yeah, you're an
on
anxious
air,
motherfucker.
Yeah. But for the most part, here, scoot over just a little bit. That'll be on the recording itself. Perfect. Yeah, I just feel, to each his own. Like, so when was the first time you actually smoked weed? I'll go first because I think your story is better.
Okay, go ahead.
Me and my buddies, I was a freshman in high school. How old were you when you were a freshman? Like 14 or 15?
I was 14. I was a very young freshman.
Something that, yeah. So my buddies, I think you have a baseball story similar, but some of my friends on my baseball team, this is back in the days before we drove. So like we had to take the bus home, and there was like this forest by my house. So my friend, he was a grade above us. He was like, yeah, man, I mean, if we could just, take it to that forest, because we had some time before we had to go to practice. I think we had like, I don't know, it was like a half day or something. So we did it at that point. I did it like in a can. I was the guy, or not a can. It was, we had a paper towel roll. So we cut the hole and then we taped foil, poked it with a toothpick. You put the weed in the foil, and you put your hand on one side of the fucking paper towel pipe or paper towel roll, and then you light it. That was my first time. I mean, and at the time I was like, holy shit.
That's really jerry-rigging it.
Dude, we didn't have a fucking pipe.
No. Dude, I remember being, like, in college once, and, like, I didn't know the difference between calling something a bowl or a pipe. And I went to a smoke shop in Athens, Ohio, and my buddy, shout out Mitch Matty, went in with me, and they had this really nice hand-blown, like, Ohio State pipe. And I wanted it so bad. I looked at him like, yo, how much is that Ohio State bowl?
Yeah.
And the guy looked at me and was just like, the fuck did you just say? And I was like, yeah, that bowl, like, how much? The Ohio State one.
I picture you so serious,
and Mitch,
too.
Yeah, I was. I mean, I was annihilated. I mean, hammered. And Mitch is like, hey, dumbass, it's a pipe. And he was like, sir, how much is a pipe? And I was like, what do you mean? It's a bowl.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And I ended up buying it. And it was pretty expensive. It was like a $60 piece.
But in high school, $60 is like blowing $600.
Yeah, I was a freshman in college at this point. But
or freshman in college. Okay, even then.
Yeah, it was a lot of money.
Okay.
So I get home with it, and like literally, I'm still living at home at this point. And my dad that week found all of my weed, all of my equipment, like everything for the first time. and he took the piece and just shattered it.
In front of you?
Yeah, in front of
Oh,
me. He was
fuck.
big upset because like in the Midwest, weed isn't like it is out here. Like like parents see their kids smoking weed out here, and it's like, all right, let's have the talk, make sure that like you don't use it all the time. Like like
is it a regional thing?
It is.
Do you think so?
It is. I mean, dude, like.
Because you're from, you can speak on it. Like you're from the Midwest, you're landlocked, you're not really near any coast.
Yeah, no, I think it definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong, people smoke weed in Ohio. Like it's not like an uncommon thing.
Yeah.
But like, there's some people who are like dead set against it. Like I feel like out here, there's not many people who are like, fuck, like you're smoking weed. Like it's more like okay, like it's treated like drinking.
I feel like more people would be like, well, are you gonna share?
Yeah,
I think
no,
they're
absolutely.
more like that.
They're more likely to let me hit this than to look down on you hitting that.
Yeah.
Where in Ohio, it's like if you're smoking, like if I would go outside at a bar and smoke a blunt, people would look at me like, "The fuck are you doing? Like this, like that's not okay." And then out here, you do it, and it's like, "Oh, let me hit that. Like that smells good."
You'd be having strangers you've never met one day in your life, and they're just acting like your best friend. Hey,
literally,
man.
no. Culturally, it's just different. Like people are just more open to it. And like I've said many times, like kids grow up way faster out west. Because they're like around this stuff way earlier, and I think like they're way more mature for it.
Now, is that due to media? Is that due to population density and
I don't
size?
know
I
what.
always wondered that.
I just think it's because like look at how I hate using this, but like look how close you are to Mexico. Like we can't act like
that's true.
We can't act like mealing drugs and like
shipping it across
isn't the easiest like here. Like it's hard to get to Ohio. Like cocaine, and as crazy as this is to say, like. Blow's easier to get in California than weed is in Ohio.
That's insane.
Like, and I say that confidently. Like, and I only smoke. Like, I don't use.
People just love to party here.
Yeah, no, people party here, and like people are like just exposed to things way earlier.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, I think like what you're saying, they're not only exposed to it more, but I think at a younger age too.
Yeah, way younger. Like I've heard people be like, "Yeah, I smoked weed in like 6th grade." Like.
That blows my mind.
I would never.
I remember thinking in 6th grade.
I would never.
Those stupid videos you see where it's like, oh, they will kill you. And look, I'm not poking fun at that at all. But, you know.
The Dare Dog?
We were, the Dare, whatever, the t-shirts and stuff. And I remember thinking at 6th grade too, 7th grade, I would say to myself, like, wow, like I could never. And I would see it on movies.
Yeah.
Because my parents, they did drugs. Like I can say that. Like they grew up in the 70s and 80s. Like it was a different time back then. And they grew up here in San Diego. So but they would still be like, no, like you can't do it. And then now, like, I don't know. So your dad, back to that other story, he shatters the pipe. What was a better day? You losing your virginity or the day that you were able to be open about smoking weed in front of your parents?
Dude, like I had to like.
That's a big mental hurdle with your parents.
So like my parents are never okay with it. Like, but I think they understand more so than anything. It's more of like an understanding where like, okay, this is just what he does. Okay. It was never like, oh, we're okay with it, if that makes sense.
Or they just turn their shoulder or they turn an eye, blind eye.
Kind of. They just, I don't know. Like because I mean, again, they grew up in the Midwest. Like their parents never around it. Yeah. They never did it. But like I remember I wrote them a letter. Because like I moved back home for like a short period of time, and I was like, listen, like I smoke. Like,
you even brought it up.
Like I had to. Yeah. Like it was like it came to the point like we had to have the conversation about it, and we came to the understanding where it's just like this is just what I do. Like either accept it or like don't. But like this is what I do.
But I feel like at that point too. Yeah. Like, what are they gonna say?
Right. It was like I was 23 years old. Like
yeah. I feel like at that point, back to the being productive, because there are definitely functional alcoholics where they're not going to say they love drinking, but they drink excessively to the point where they're blacking out. But they're still waking up for work on Monday morning.
Right.
If they go out on a thirsty Thursday, they're going to man up, or, for a woman, they're going to basically man up and go to work the next day. Where with the weed, if you... Like yourself, you're a perfect example. If you are more productive and if you can thrive on it, I'm all for it. Because when I first met you, I didn't even know you smoked weed. When we were at the restaurant, I remember thinking like, oh, he's just on top of his shit. And again, I was always hungover for the brunch shifts. You were on top of everything. You got a coffee, or hey man, you need help, this and that. And I was like, oh, he's freaking on his game. And then when I got to know you more, you're like, oh, dude, I'm high all the time. Like I'm smoking before the shift. I was like, dude, there's no like I could never. I remember when I was serving, I could never smoke before.
Yeah.
I would be so anxious. Like no way.
So you know, like medically speaking, you have your sativas, you have your indicas, like indica. So like that would like put you out, put you down, like.
So that means that's gonna not those.
Yeah.
That's the heavy.
And
that's
then
the
like
heavier one.
sativa for me, like if I smoke a sativa during the day, for me it has the same effects as Adderall. Like I'm diagnosed ADHD. Like I have a script for Adderall.
Yeah.
It has the same effect on me as that. But the Adderall like makes me strung out, like makes me like feel miserable.
Yeah.
So I'd stop doing that, and like if I hit a sativa, it has the same leveling effect for me. So like I wake up at 6. I do my thing, like around 8, like I have a cup of coffee and the sativa, and like, cause you can tell, like I'm off the walls and like up and down.
Yeah.
If I don't smoke in the morning, right? Like I'm everywhere. But like when I do,
so it really
like,
does level you out.
yeah, no, literally.
Wow.
It's so weird. So weird, dude. So last night though, I was sitting down. The boys were over. We're celebrating the holiday. We were debating this. You texted me. It was so weird.
Really?
It was weird when you texted me this because like I was thinking like, oh, this would be fun to talk about. And then you literally texted me categories and said, let's have a 420 special tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
So like that's why like I was short and to the point with you, but like I wanted to talk to you here because I didn't want to like go back and forth in the text.
So yes. You're referring to the text message.
Yeah, I could tell.
Okay.
Will texted me like paragraphs and I responded with like 2 words. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Like he's just like, he's like, wait, like, are you sure that you're like, you know what I'm talking? I'm like, yes, dude. Like we're literally talking about this. Let's go. How weird is that?
I think it's just good that we're on the same page because I just thought it's just becoming so much more friendly. And you know, when I first started out, that's Charlie, by the way. So
the Parlay Pup's with us.
The Parlay Pup's with us right now. He's scratching his
hey buddy,
his head right now. Charlie, we should just keep this all on.
You okay, buddy? Will's taking his collar off so he can scratch in peace.
Yeah, the Parlay Pup's here, and he's giving us company. What were we just saying?
That you texted me about doing categories.
Yeah, you know, I just thought, what I was saying was it's just so friendly now that, you know, it's not kind of awkward to talk about. It's not awkward to bring up on social media or, you know, I'm seeing all these blogs and countdowns and lists, and, you know, we're going to have fun with it too. I just thought, why not, right? Like, I think, especially last year, during the quarantine, I thought, you know, this is really where we're going to see, like, people's true colors. Because it was a dark time, obviously, and we won't go down that road. But when you can't leave your house,
right?
You know, for people that are listening to this, you're like, oh, I can't leave my house. Like, dude, California was so strict. Like, people just chilled.
I felt weird you coming here.
Right? Like, it was
during COVID.
Yeah, it was really weird. So it was like, yeah, I could just smoke in my house. So, you know, I think at that point when I'm texting you yesterday, I was like, dude, we got to do this. Like, I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I'm down. All right, so what Will and I did, we made lists. Will did a blog last year. What was it? Your like 420s, your favorites, your worst.
Yeah, so I wrote a blog, theofficialocf.com. I need to change that domain so it's on the menu. But basically, I'm a huge comedy guy. I love, like, if you notice, half of our clips are always like comedy films. So I just thought, okay, what's the best stoner comedies? And there's just so much because they go back to like the early 60s.
Yeah.
And up until now, I mean, obviously you have the Seth Rogans of the world and the Snoop Dogg's and all these celebrities that, you know, can appear in movies or have made them. So yeah, I compiled a list, like a Mount Rushmore. And then I just thought, let's do like snacks and then maybe like activities too.
Yeah, I made a few lists. I did my favorite high TV shows, high movies, music to listen to, high snacks, high meals, and high activities.
Yeah. Let's do. What do you want to do first? You want to do?
Let's start with movies.
Movies.
Yeah,
okay.
You got movies up. Let's. I'm sure we're gonna cross over on a few of these. So let's start with one that I'm pretty sure we'll cross over with, Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express is number one. The reason why it was kind of like, I'm not gonna say, it's obviously not the pioneer stoner film, but the creativity of Seth Rogen and James Franco,
it's unbelievable.
And the fact that it came out in 2008, you can watch it in 2028, and I think it's still gonna resonate with everyone. Like the writing team just did such a phenomenal job, and like I think of how many memes and one-liners are from that movie.
Dude, it's
Because that came out when I was when we were in high school.
yeah.
And I remember watching
it's timeless.
It's one of those like.
But like it would have resonated with like the 60s and 70s too.
But why does it do it though? Like what about it makes it? Is it because it's just
so true?
Because we all have that one stoner friend that either is a dealer. Because I feel like the dealer is like when you hear a drug dealer, like it's very misinterpreted. Like it's almost loosely thrown around.
A weed dealer is like your best friend. It's like the homie, right? Like
I was thinking,
everyone had the one weed dealer in their life who was literally the homie.
Yeah, I always think of the weed dealer like a pharmacist. Like
Yeah.
if I need like a prescription or something, I could just go. Because most of the time, this is no offense, like I had drug dealer friends, but it wasn't like the close knit. I have group chats with them, right? Like
Yeah.
if this is MySpace, they're not on my top 8. You know, like they are like just outside of the second ring of my close friends.
I'd agree with that.
So that's why I think it's like a pharmacist where it's like, hey, I think I need an order. You go, you bullshit. Everyone, you know the whole thing.
So like, what do you call the guy who like would always buy enough for the homies and the homies only? Like, was he considered like the drug dealer? Or did you ever have that friend who would like go buy like he'd buy an ounce, always have an ounce on him, and like if you're smoking with him, like, oh, can I get an eighth of that? And like he like kind of like always smoked for free, but always had enough on him to where like you knew that you could take some with you.
We had one friend, I think this is where it might go in different ways. Like my friends, what we used to do was, there was always a kid who had the most money. And I'm referring to like high school days, obviously now.
Yeah,
like,
high school, college.
Yeah,
like,
early college, where they wouldn't really buy like a Costco size amount of weed.
No.
But they would buy enough, like I don't know, 2 grams. But at the time, like now, everyone prefers Ace. Like I never did Ace.
Really?
I didn't. No.
See, like I was usually like the guy who would buy a zip, and like I always had like a zip or 2 on me.
What's a zip for people that don't know?
An ounce.
Like, an ounce.
Like
okay.
when I was in college, like I would always get like an ounce or 2, and like I just always had that on me. So like my friends, if they'd come over, like they knew that I would have an ounce or something on me.
Yeah, the people that I was with.
And like I remember the first time that my parents saw an ounce, they freaked out. They were like, "You have so much weed on you," and I was like, "Guys, that's like $200 worth. It's not a lot. Like I promise you. Like
well, it's funny,
fine. That lasts me like months at this point."
Yeah, you're
like,
probably thinking in your head like, "Well, I've got more."
Yeah, it's like, wait a minute, why are you freaking out over this? Like, no, it's okay.
Yeah,
And then they had to like do their research and find out like, oh, an ounce isn't a lot. Like,
well, your mom's a teacher too.
Yeah,
so I'm just
dude, they honestly thought it was like
her like
thousands.
like printing out like a conversion
like
chart.
you've met my parents, like you know, my mom's like, Joshua, like, could you imagine that conversation? Like, then this was like, let's see, I'm 26 now. This would have been like 6 years ago. Like my mom when she was like at her peak mom, like, what are you doing? Are you okay? Yeah. Like, I can't believe you.
Text me when you get home.
Yes, like my mom was a riot. Like that. Like looking back on it, that conversation is something that I will cherish forever. And like, even though I'll be the parent who like has the conversation, like make sure you know what you're doing. Like as soon as I see you like not productive or like not able to like function or do your things, like we're gonna have this conversation and it's not gonna go as well.
Yeah.
Because like you know me, like I'm very on top of my shit. Like if I don't get something done, like I'm pissed at myself, and like it's rare when it happens, but like I'm very productive. So.
Well, I mean, pivoting back to what you were saying. Yeah, we would just get the same amount, and then it was funny how we went through phases. Like it would either be a pipe. And then when I got to college, it was more glass. Like, we definitely do bongs.
Yep.
And then, but like, while I was in high school, still, I like blunts. I still like the roll-ups. You can't, like, we smoked a blunt before this.
Dude, so my funniest weed story, actually. So when I was in high school, this is one of my funnier ones. When I was in high school, I had, like, a container, like a Ziploc container, and I had, like, a little piece in there. Like, I had my grinder, and, like, my uncle, we had a spare bedroom. My uncle went to college nearby, so, like, he lives out here. So he flew home, and I'm in high school at this point. And when he was home, I hid my container underneath his bed in the basement. Oh, Jesus. and one day I came down because like every Saturday and Sunday we'd like go work out and like we'd like kick it together.
Yeah.
And I came down one day and he was like, "Hey, what's this?" And he like knew it was mine. And he was like, "I mean, I'm not mad at you, but like at least tell me that it's here." So like that was like a secret. Yeah, I don't think he ever told my mom about it either. So shout out Kelly, when you see this, don't yell at your brother. He's just helping the homie out.
He's being a teammate.
Yeah, he's the homie.
Back to the movies. So
let's go.
Obviously Pineapple Express. I think
I don't know how Pineapple Express got us there, but it did.
Yeah, we're kind of just we were just navigating all over. I definitely want to go Pineapple Express number 1.
Okay.
This is where it might vary. Like, so instead
we're
of
gonna
going one by
vary from
one,
here.
I'll tell you this.
And
So-
these are just our favorites. Like,
Yeah,
like when we're high, like what we like.
So you know,
watching
like
this.
like an MVP voting, like you'll get like the first and second team, and then honorable mentions.
Yeah.
So I did like a Mount Rushmore last year, and then I have honorable mentions. So obviously, you're gonna have Pineapple Express on there for me. And this is where we might kind of differ at some ways. I like Fast Times at Ridgemont High just because it's based out of Carlsbad, super funny. Jess Piccoli. I mean, you think of the iconic surfer stoner. Do you think of him? Half Baked. I'm a huge Chappelle fan. So Dave Chappelle, like, he's narrating the whole movie. I've always liked that. And then my other one was Friday with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. That was my just growing up. Those were the first kind of weed movies I saw. And they still just resonate with me today. And then my honorable mention, I made a joke. So I wrote at the time, Ricky Williams' love for weed and blatant disregard towards the NFL. You remember Ricky Williams?
Yeah.
The running back. So he's from San Diego, the running back for like the Dolphins.
Ricky Williams was so sick.
He loves smoking weed. And it was funny because now there's ways to get around weed testing in the NFL. He would just...
They don't even test for it in the NFL anymore.
Yeah. So that's Pat. So then Ricky
Yeah.
Williams would say, fuck it. You know, I don't care. Here's my other ones. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Ted. I didn't know Mark Wahlberg. He's just... I think that proved he's one of the best actors ever just because of his range. Knocked Up, We're the Millers, and This Is the End.
Dude, I feel that. So Will, you were very on script with like weed mentioned in movies. Mine, I went more like if I'm high chilling on the couch with the homies, what do I want to watch?
Okay.
So I went last night. This was a perfect example. I went to bed super bad.
I love
Especially high.
Superbad.
Jonah Hill is great.
I would say that's a great fucking high movie. I would say Superbad shifted the comedy paradigm. Because think of this. Think of like I've heard on other, you know, I've talked to other people where there was this shift in comedy, and I think you can almost point towards The Hangover as well. But remember, like the early 2000s, it was the high school quarterback, right?
Yep.
Wants the prom queen.
Yep.
And it's just so repetitive. Like
it was
every John Hughes movie, even though I love John Hughes movies.
Yeah.
Where Seth Rogen, I mean, it's just so genius. They flipped the script. It was like, what about the kid that doesn't get laid? The nerdy kid that gets bullied? The kids that are trying to get to the party with the popular kids? Fucking one of the greatest movies ever. Like, it's definitely up there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It kind of shifted how we watched movies and how we wanted to watch movies.
And then how they write the scripts.
And it came out in 2007. So like that and Pineapple Express were like kind of back to back.
Yeah.
And they were just like classics that will always be good. Then I went The Other Guys.
I love The Other Guys.
When I'm sitting with the homies
Will
and
Ferrell
like we just had a sesh and like
Mark Wahlberg.
if I put on The Other Guys, we're about to sit back and have ourselves a time. Will Ferrell and Marky Mark are incredible. When Will Ferrell in the movie,
that's such an underrated movie.
Dude, I laugh my ass off every time.
Like, I'm laughing at it as if I've never seen it before.
Will Ferrell gets the wooden gun at one point in the movie, and when you're
the desk
high,
pop?
and the desk pop, and he gets punished with the wooden gun. Dude, mind-blowingly good.
One of the really fast on that one. 2 running gags. One, the amount of puss that Will Ferrell pulls in that movie. I thought that was really funny. But the other one, the TLC drops, where the boss is like, "Don't go chasing waterfalls."
Dude, also Dirty Mike and the Boys. Thanks for the F Shack.
Yeah.
They fucked in the Prius.
So that's called a soup kitchen.
That's incredible.
That's a great choice.
So, and then another one. This isn't like a funny one, but like when you're high, the effects in it, the overall plot. Batman, Dark Knight. We got
with Heath
Christian
Ledger.
Bale, Heath Ledger,
R.I.P.
like the Joker. I mean, Heath Ledger is incredible in that. It's one of the top 5 movie of all time for me, and I love to watch it high.
Yeah.
I mean, Lamborghini's always got me feeling like I'm Christian Bale. So I don't know. I love it. Christian Bale was the best Batman of all time. There's no debating it, no arguing it.
You can't replace Heath Ledger. I think also when you're high as well, you have
a lot of options with Christian Bale movies. That's the best. We got a FaceTime from a fan. Yeah.
So yeah, my old roommate just called. Right, he's literally on the phone.
First live caller we've ever had. So I went Batman, Dark Knight, and then last but not least, probably my favorite comedy of all time, Step Brothers.
Step Brothers? I love Step Brothers, dude.
Step Brothers.
Would you
Will Ferrell and John Riley
You would choose Step Brothers over Superbad?
I love
Step Brothers.
I think I would. Did you touch my drum set? I know you didn't touch my drum set.
He put his ball sack
He
on
just
it.
took, dude. I mean, they're so funny in that. I cannot wait for Step Brothers 2.
See, and you can't make those movies anymore.
You can't. Like, just with cancel culture and the way that everything is set up now, like...
I would say at least 25 lines from there.
Yeah.
You can't
say anymore. Favorite non-pornographic magazine to jerk off to? Good Housekeeping.
John Stamos!
Did we just become best friends?
No, and then think of, like, some of those one-liners are part of the American lexicon now. Like, you could just casually, not even if there's a fire. Like, you just say that and they know what you're talking about.
Literally. All right, so there's movies. Let's go to high activities. Top 5 high activities. I'll lead us off here. Number 1 for me is golf. Okay. I love smoking up a doobie and going and playing golf, especially with the homies. Pass the blunt around, just because for me, like you've played golf with me. Unless there's money involved, I like to be zen. I like to be relaxed. I like to have fun. Like I'm not serious about it at all. I'm smooth. I take good swings. So there's 1. 2, frolicking in public. People watching when I'm high is one of my favorite things to do. Like I could just sit at a bar and drink a nice soda pop, and
oh my god,
just people watch with the homies. Like I could just do that for hours. 3 is going to the beach. I'm starting to take a lot more appreciation in for the beach. We live in a great area, so that's definitely number 3 right now. Smoking meat. So you know,
oh my god,
you know my
this
Traeger.
is the most Ohio thing I've ever.
But like you know me, like my Traeger's like a great hobby of mine, and like I don't know, I feel like I have like great touches and great ideas. Like when I'm high, it's like to smoke meat. And then my favorite one, Jared's gonna love this. Nick's gonna love this. A nice midday nap.
Oh wow.
If
you can't go wrong with that.
No, because you know me, I'm an early starter. I get up at 6, I do some stuff, I work until like 1:32, and then like I also have work at night usually. So like I like to take a nice midday nap. Sometimes I don't get home till 11:30 midnight from work. So smoke a little blunt, smoke a hit out of the bong or something, and then take a nice little nappy nap.
So, all right, can we cut? I think I need to take him out.
Really go ahead.
Okay,
pause
I want to
that.
pause it. I don't want to freaking.
So we're gonna be at your top 5 high activities when we get
top
back.
5 high activities.
Did Nick the Paula get the Kobe Bryant scoop from Vanessa Bryant?
I don't know.
That's so random.
Is there any more of this?
No.
That's gone.
Yeah.
Where's the other one?
That is the other one.
You killed that whole blunt?
You were gone a while.
Dude, I wanted to at least hit it once.
I mean, you can hit it. It's just a roach.
Fuck.
Headchar.
Damn, dude, you smoked that thing.
Are you high right now?
Do you ever get nervous?
Are you
All right.
single?
3,
I heard you fucked a girl. Is it true?
2, 1, resume. I like all those activities. Now, am I surprised that you have a nap as your favorite? Is that your favorite to do?
So, like, if I had a day where I wake up, work out, pod, go to the beach, go to the range, golf, go to work, and if I can squeeze a nap in, yes. It is absolutely my favorite thing to do.
It's hard for me to nap during the day.
It's not for me when I'm that busy.
Really?
No. I mean, dude, I'm tired. Like, because then when I'm going to bed, I'm only getting like 6 hours of sleep. So, like, then I'm wake up and I'm boom, boom, boom.
Uh-huh.
Then, like, yeah, it's my favorite thing to do.
Huh. I don't know. Even if I go to bed really
But, like,
late,
also, I'm doing all of my other favorite things in that day, too.
Yeah.
You know, like, I named, like, going to the beach and golfing. Like, I can do both of those in a day while recording, editing, posting, and then going to surf.
Yeah.
Like, I can do all that in a day.
Okay, mine. I guess in no particular order, I like to write. I feel like sometimes in my highest state, that's where I have the most creative thoughts. And then that's kind of how I sparked this idea of what's on the menu. I remember I was high one night. I was like, remember we were talking like, what are we going to name it? Because I remember I looked at some of our old files where it said Josh and Will's show. Because I thought like, okay, I've seen that so many times. That's like drive radio, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so I remember being high one night and I was just writing down ideas. I don't know how you do it. Like I heard this from Larry David, but anytime he had a good idea, and he's old school, he would write it down. And like I could easily put it in my notes, but there's something about like just
writing
the whole
it.
thing of writing it.
Because then you look at
Because I have like an idea notebook.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds.
Idea.
Yeah. Ding. No, seriously, like I just look and I'm just like stuff like I would want to pitch or like could this work? And so, like I would say 75% of the time it's like not a good idea. But like sometimes that can lead to another good idea.
Yeah,
You know?
you just by like reading it and it going through your head again, be like, oh well, what if I
Let me
tried
think
this?
about it in a different way. Okay, number 4. I love watching the NBA when I'm high as fuck. I love watching the NBA.
Is it because it's like a reality TV show?
Okay, so the reality TV show is when I'm sober or when I'm drunk. Like the storylines that are generated, whether it's J.R. Smith throwing soup,
Love that.
the whole Kyrie Irving burning sage,
Love that as well.
Kevin Durant spitting in Michael Rappaport's face.
Love
That's
that.
funny. No, but the physical game itself. I don't know if it's something where I finally sit back and I can. I'm not gonna say it makes me focus, but seeing sub 7 feet tall men being in a confined space, because it's only 94 feet, right? Like that's the distance of a court.
Yeah,
Just seeing like their athletic ability, like I think they're the best athletes in the world
absolutely are.
with the speed and height. So,
100p.
so seeing like those ridiculous like windmill dunks, alley-oops, or like someone like Kyrie, even though we make fun of him, has some of the best handles in the game.
Yeah, I mean his finishes are unmatched.
It's just so crazy how like a human that size can be so nimble and agile, and it's just going to the hoop every time.
No, absolutely, I agree with that. What's your number 3?
Number 3, I love going to the beach. The beach is mine. So whether I can go surfing or swim or just kind of meditate on the beach, that's always a fun time for me.
Love that.
I can kind of get lost in other thoughts. Number 2, this sounds kind of cliche, but I love watching movies when I'm high. Like because it sounds kind of crazy, but I watch a lot of sports. In case you didn't know that, like there's always a game on that I can either bet on or I like to get on Twitter and I like to see the reactions of just whether it's writers, bloggers, analysts, ex-players. I like getting that live reaction, you know.
Yeah.
But I love watching the movies because some of the fun.
It's mindless.
It's just something that can take my mind off. If I actually get into the storyline, because there's sometimes where it's like, oh, that's actually a really good thing. Like, how did he do that? Because you think of like how a story is put together, and how it's like creatively tied in a bow at the end.
Absolutely.
That's my favorite. So, and I love that we started with the movies because I kind of stayed weed centric. I like how you thought about that. You thought of movies to watch while you're high.
Yeah, you said weed centric, and I'm more of like, okay, I'm high. What am I watching?
Yeah.
What's your number 1?
Number 1. This is, I guess, God, it's kind of tough. And it's not like I don't know why, but it depends, I guess, on the certain strain. But you're not gonna believe me. I actually enjoy going like on jogs and listening to like other podcasts while I'm high.
You're a loony.
Yeah.
You go on runs?
Not runs, like walks, jogs. Like I'll go along the beach and I'm just like.
What's the difference between a jog and a run?
When I think of a run, I'm thinking like I'm going for a set like amount of calories to burn. Where I think like a jog or like a casual brisk walk is like. I don't know. That's just how I've always done that.
You're weird. That's a wild number 1.
You never would have expected it.
No, that's loony status.
I'm not going like full Usain Bolt.
No, absolutely not. But like the fact that you're even like getting off the couch and doing that is like interesting.
Well, because there's other times,
like
there's other activities I like to do.
I can see like lifting because like lifting, you like don't have to be like high intensity. Like you can just. Like,
but I feel like running.
But like I feel like running, like you're just like constantly moving. It's like that's like the last thing I kind of want to do. Like I can operate and like I'm full functioning, but like to physically get up and like go.
I'm not running. It's like a walk. It's like a walk.
No. All right, we're moving on. High snacks. Number 5, I'm coming in with pizza rolls.
Oh.
I'm talking oven baked pizza rolls.
Not the shitty microwave.
Get out of here with the microwave bullshit. If you come at me with microwave bullshit, you're leaving my house. Like you're not welcomed. Number 4, barbecue twist Fritos.
With the blue bag?
Yeah, like that bluish orange bag.
Yes.
They're fire. The little like the twists. Dude, they're so good. Number 3, Nutty Bars. The chocolate peanut butter bars.
Like the ones we would get like
Little
in
Debbie's.
5th grade?
Yes.
Like you would eat your PB&J.
Dude.
Your chips.
They're so good high. So good high. I don't know what else to say. They're in my top 5 at number 3. Number 2, and I consider this a snack when I'm high because it's so high in sugar and like it's really not that good for you, and it's a beverage, but Gatorade.
What?
Gatorade.
You can't have a beverage as your number
Yes,
one.
you can. No, that's number 2. Gatorade. You can have like the dark blue and like the light blue flavored, like when you're high, like just like the sugary taste in your mouth.
That's like more refreshing though. Like I like
Yeah,
when,
but, like,
when I'm
it's not for
hungover
me.
or high, like I like the ice.
Dude, like
the blue
my mouth
Gatorade.
goes dry often when I'm high,
Yeah,
and like to
cotton
me,
mouth.
Gatorade is a very good like snack. Like it's like a snack to me. I don't know why. It's just so sugary and like that's how I treat it. But number 1, Girl Scout cookies.
Which ones?
Any of them. They're the number 1 snack when you're high. Like I love the shortbread. I love the Samoas. I love the peanut butter. I love.
You have to pick one. You only get one. What would you choose?
I mean, it's so hard. I don't know what I would choose because they all have a time and a place. Like sometimes I would choose.
I'm Thin Mints.
Yeah, see, like I was gonna say Thin Mints, but then I thought about it and I was like, yeah, but like Thin Mints get old after like half a sleeve to me, and like I couldn't
Do you
like,
freeze
eat
them?
a box. Yeah, of course. But like the shortbread ones, I could kill a whole box of shortbread ones in a sitting. I could kill a whole box of peanut butter in a sitting. Like Samoas, I could kill like a sleeve. Those are like rich in the coconut.
You know, I would say that's the only coconut that I will tolerate. I do not like coconut other than the Samoas.
Samoas are so good. They're gasoline. Gasoline. What's yours?
Okay. Lucky Charms, number 5 for me.
Okay.
I love cereal, whether it's Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Captain Crunch.
See, I wish I was a cereal guy.
I
I'm just
love
not, though.
cereal when I'm high. I don't
Okay.
know what it is. I even love Honey Bunches of Oats. I just love cereal, but there's something about Lucky Charms that just smack. Especially when like, you know that you get past the high phase and it's like, wow, like I can seriously munch something right now. Like I could easily eat a whole pizza, I could eat a burrito, whatever. Give me like Lucky Charms. Number 4, I gotta have some candy. I don't know how you feel. It sounds like you're kind of a chocolate guy.
The Nutty Bars, yeah.
I love sour candy. Blue/light green sour punch bites. Those little like.
See, we'll agree to disagree there, but I did know that about you.
I love those like they're like noodle shaped. But
Whenever
dude,
we go to the market, you always get
they're
those.
so
Yeah.
good. I don't know why I love sour candy, and I like really hot food too, which leads into number 3.
Literally, if you like sour, you like hot.
Right?
I've learned to know that because like I don't know, it's like the same like taste.
Taste.
Yeah.
How would you describe a hot and sour taste? No, I don't know why. It's just, and I've learned that about you too. You don't like spicy stuff. Like when we get food from the taco shop, like I'll just smother it in hot sauce. Like that's just me.
Yeah.
But speaking of that, 3, I love hot Cheetos. I love hot Cheetos. I can eat, and it's crazy. Like I've seen in Costco sometimes, they have a bag that's like the size of a pillow full of hot Cheetos.
They do.
That's kind of scary. I stay away from that. I like going to like the liquor store or the local 7-Eleven. Give me the $1.29 bag, the extra hot, those smack. That's where I would wash it down with the Gatorade though. That's where.
A Gatorade fits in top 5s.
Number 2, now this depends on the day, so I'm going to keep it broad. I love chicken nuggets.
Chicken nuggies.
Oh my God. From either Chick-fil-A, and if it's on Sunday, either like McDonald's or...
Wendy's has very
Wendy's has
chicken
very
nuggets.
the spicy ones too. Very underrated. Wendy's is very underrated.
Yeah, I was thinking that for lunch today. Not gonna lie.
Number 1 though, ice cream. Ice cream, like it doesn't matter if it's Ben & Jerry's. It doesn't matter if it's from an ice cream parlor. I will smack ice cream any day. I absolutely love it. Like I love the half bake. I love the American Dream whatever flavor with Stephen Colbert. I like strawberry cheesecake. I like. I forget. There's one. Some ooey gooey something.
Strawberry cheesecake's really good.
Oh, I love ice cream, dude.
I like the brownie one too.
The brownie one smacks.
Smacks.
Oh my God. Ice cream number 1 for me.
All right, love that. All right, so do you think that there's actually a difference between like high snacks and high meals?
How would you clarify that though? Because
Like
essentially
snacks would be sitting on the couch like snacking, and
Yeah.
a meal would be like dinner.
I would say, yeah, there's a difference just in terms of portion size.
So I made my top high meals.
Okay, I'll bounce that off. I would say my favorite. What is it? Let's hear it.
So at number 5, I put Chipotle.
Really?
I think that
I couldn't eat. That's too much for me when I'm high.
So, but I'm talking like you
But
get done working,
Yeah.
You smoke a blunt, you sit down like, oh my God, I just had a long day. You sit down, you smoke.
Yeah.
And an hour and a half later, it's like 6:30 and you're like, oh my God, like I need dinner. Like that's a different type of hungry.
I guess I could say, I shouldn't say that that's too heavy. I don't know if I would choose Chipotle because I like taco shell. Like I would get a California burrito before.
Okay. So that was my number 5. Number 4, I said In-N-Out.
Okay.
Because like if it's dinner time and like I smoked a blunt like it's an hour and a half later, it's 6:37. Like In-N-Out feels different. Like I could be talked into it.
Do you ever find yourself? The thing with In-N-Out, and it's funny because there's literally a limited menu. I think there's like you have number 1, 2, or 3. I get the double, no onions, of course.
3x3, no onions, no tomato.
3x3. Okay, because I was gonna ask. There's often times when I eat In-N-Out, especially when I'm high, that I feel like I can eat more.
I don't disagree with that, but I think that's just the feeling of being high.
Really?
Yeah, and like I've gotten to the point of being high where I remind myself like, dude, you just smacked a 3x3 and a shake, like you're good.
I love the shake. Again, this goes back to ice cream because I love ice cream.
Yeah.
A strawberry shake. It goes
I
pairs
get
very
Neapolitan.
well. You would.
I do, it's good.
What's your next one?
Any California burrito.
So taco
Number
shop.
3. Yeah, taco shop. Like
I love that. You know, it's funny. A year ago, you would have never said that.
no, I wouldn't have. But you know what? I also feel like a taco shop and Chipotle are completely different meals.
Way different.
You know, that's why I included them both.
I appreciate that you can distinguish the difference because some people would say, "Oh, it's the same thing." Absolutely fucking
My friends,
not.
because my friends are starting to come out this week, like they're gonna understand the difference because I'm taking them to taco shops.
Yeah.
Then number 2, a steakhouse. The bread
Oh.
at a good steakhouse that comes out in the Caesar salad.
I don't know if I
and
can
the
smoke
sides
before a
and stuff.
steakhouse.
Dude, like I did it at 2 pretty nice steakhouses in the last month, like
Yeah.
right before, and they were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, just next level. And like these were like
Now, are you
already, like,
drinking with
nicer
the? Are you
places.
drinking with the steak though?
Yeah, I had
do you-
a couple old fashions. Glass
okay.
of wine with dinner. So that's number 2. And number 1, and I think that any like high school kid, college kid can agree with this because every hometown has one, is an unlimited wing night.
Oh my god! When you're high.
When you're high.
I've gone.
Like you smoke a blunt, like you were with the homies, you're like, all right, we're gonna go smack these $15 unlimited wings.
I'll be
like,
honest, I've hit a couple.
like you're
Hooters
all
like
at the
that
table
before,
and like
Buffalo
you're all
Wild
laughing
Wings.
the whole time, and it's like.
And
it's
the server
great.
and the server that comes up knows
exactly why
from
you're
a
there.
mile away why you're there.
Yeah.
They can know how high you are.
They're like, these guys are all gonna get this and a water. They're gonna tip me $3 each. There's 6 of them. Like
they're all gonna ask to split the check.
Yep, I'm gonna make $18 for a group of 6 dudes that are not gonna tip me
I'm gonna have
and
one.
they're gonna be,
I'm gonna have one horny guy that has.
100 wings.
I'm gonna have one horny guest that has no game that's gonna ask for my number.
Yep,
Or ask if I'm single.
I'm gonna get at least 3 numbers on the receipt from people that didn't say more than their order to me. like everyone knows that night in that crowd, and like being like a guy who like enjoys wings in like that kind of setting, like we know that feeling.
There's gonna be one guy that's gonna ask, "Can we change one game to another game on the TV?"
Yep. All right. So knowing mine, what are you thinking?
Oh man, that's hard to top. The only thing that I would throw in there is pizza. I gotta have some type of pizza. I think you kind of nailed most of them for me. For sure, the taco shop, especially whether you're hungover or you're high, it just hits different out here.
So I'm not gonna lie, like you know how I feel about California pizza, and that's why I kind of fell out of my top 5 high meals.
So since moving to San Diego, have you been turned off by pizza?
Dude, yeah. I mean, even the best pizza place out here.
Because you're still in the Midwest. You're technically not on the East Coast, which seems like the mecca of pizza.
So, but like Midwest pizza is just a little different style of pizza.
How would you describe it though?
Like it's a little thicker, it's a little doughier. Like West Coast and like East Coast, they try to go like a nice thin crust.
Yeah.
Midwest, like I mean, think Chicago, like you have deep dish, and
Yeah.
like Ohio pizza is kind of like the Papa John's Domino's, but like way better, like homemade ingredients, like things like that, like style thickness, like it's kind of like that.
I know thickness plays a really big part into it. Like
Yeah.
I like a thinner.
And the
type
quality of the
pie.
dough and sauce is different too. Like think Midwest, you think a lot of like homegrown ingredients, like homemade sauces.
So you're saying
like,
it seems like it's
the
kind of
quality,
corporate here.
Yeah, it's
like they
definitely.
they have a set of instructions that they have to follow.
Yeah, it's not like your
As
mom and pop pizza place that's just like dude, literally like I can't wait to take you to my hometown because like literally all the pizza places are like mom and pop ran.
Yeah.
Like started. There's like 3 or 4 franchises.
That's how you
in
know
the
it's
area.
really, really
Yeah,
good.
and it's all fire. And like there's always like lines and it's like 45-minute hour wait, but like it's always hot and fresh. Like you walk in and like everyone knows each other. It's like, oh, my parents go to the same pizza place every
Yeah.
weekend. They know like, oh, Arendelle, welcome back. Like, how you doing? Like, oh, I don't need to see your coupon. Like, we're good. Like,
If you go back now, they're not going to recognize you.
no, they do. Every time I go back.
You're way too tan now. You're way too
Listen,
tan.
I'm addicted to the beach game right now.
How much vitamin D are you taking in a day?
An hour. At least an hour. At least an hour. If the sun's out, Dale's out.
Back to the pizza thing really fast. I don't know. I guess I haven't, the furthest east of California I've ever been is Nebraska, so I don't know what the true pizza game is. But I would say I agree with most of it. I just want pizza in there.
Okay, I feel that. Now, top 5 high TV shows. Because sometimes you just don't want to watch a movie.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you rather watch a TV show or a movie when you're high? Or does
So,
that
like, a lot
depend
of
on the degree of your highness?
That depends on the degree of the highness, the setting, but 9 times out of 10, I'm picking TV show.
Yeah.
Because, like, my attention span, like, isn't that long. So, like, I would rather watch, like, an episode or 2 of TV right before bed. And then fall asleep. Because, like, I don't watch a ton of TV.
Yeah.
But top 5 TV shows, and in this order, I'm going That 70s Show at number 5.
I am so fucking glad that you said that.
Kelso and company, like...
Fez, Eric,
Dude.
Donna, Jackie, Hyde.
Dude. Mrs. Foreman, Red. Kitty's fucking Fox.
What's the funniest part of that show? Is
Dude,
it the cutaways when they do the circle camera?
It's the circle.
Right?
Yeah, it's a circle for me. Like, I feel those moments. I feel those conversations.
Like, when you were a little kid, like, how early did you start watching That 70s Show?
I remember watching it kind of young because it was on, like, Nick at Night or whatever. And I remember being, like, middle school and, like, watching it. And, like, I knew what pot was, but, like, I was always nervous to be around it.
Yeah.
And, like, I was very sheltered growing up. So, like, I don't know. It hits different.
Nick at Night. You had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, George Lopez, then you had That 70s Show at night.
Yep. It, like, got raunchier as the night went on. And then I would go Parks and Rec.
Yes. Okay.
Ron Swanson is one of my top 5 all-time favorite TV guys.
He reminds me of you.
I mean...
If you grew a mustache, I think he definitely reminds me of you.
Mustache. I think you misunderstood me when I said I wanted all of the eggs and bacon. Dude, I mean, he's so funny. Number 3...
Andy Dwyer, though. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Dwyer's great, too. Number 3, I'm going The Office.
I cannot believe that's way too low.
Way too low? I mean, I don't know what else to say. The Office is very good to me. It's the elite. I've seen it a lot.
The Office
Michael,
was a game changer in
dude,
TV.
Yeah, Dwight's one of my favorite TV characters of all time, and he has the best... I mean, I think he evolved throughout a series as good as any character ever.
Who's better for the show, Michael or Dwight?
I think Dwight. Like, Dwight
More than Michael Scott?
I think Dwight carried the show enough after Michael left.
Yeah.
Think about that. Like, Dwight carried the show well enough after Michael left for 3 seasons to say that, like, he was good enough without him.
Well, I think we have, like, the chicken and the egg conversation because I disagree. I think Michael carries the show, but it shows
Michael carries the show.
But but what I'm saying is it shows how critical Dwight's character was because, yes, when he did leave the show, because of what he built, being Dwight, Rainn Wilson, that was able to basically give them a couple more seasons. Because I thought after he left, it was never the same.
No,
like when you watch on Netflix, you're watching like through season 6 whenever he left.
And then I kind of restart it.
Yeah.
Number 2, I'm going Game of Thrones.
Oh.
I think that the effects of it and like the storylines and stuff, and like if you smoke a nice sativa and you're like, I'm gonna watch TV and sit down and watch a show, Game of Thrones is elite. And then number 1, Entourage.
I love Entourage.
Sitting down, like especially like with your guy roommates, and like it's like you're all like hitting a blunt or something before bed, or like chilling out after work, and like you have a TV show on. Entourage is, I know I said top 5, but it's top 2, and it's not 2, and it's number 1 without a doubt. So yeah, that's my top 5 TV shows.
I can't disagree. I'm just such a huge Office fan.
Honorable mention, New Girl.
Dude, okay. Let me get to mine.
Honorable mention.
Okay, number 5 for me, I want to throw... See, this is where it's hard because I have a 6-man off the bench where I think, God, I need this. I want to go Parks and Rec at number 5.
Love that.
Just because they have the same writers as The Office. There was something about it. It was kind of like during, I think, maybe it was season 3 where you kind of think, oh, I think Here, time out. Is he okay? Is he making sounds?
Charlie. Charlie. What are you doing, buddy?
Or is that my phone? Am I tripping out?
Your phone's
Oh.
vibrating. Charlie, what are you doing, buddy? His eyes are moving.
I think he's okay. Was he making sounds or am I tripping out?
I think you're tripping. I didn't hear him.
Okay, let me just start that. All right, 3, 2, 1. Dale, number 5 for me. Parks and Rec. And I'm glad you mentioned it in the other one. It has the same writers as The Office. And that the dry mockumentary feel to it, and the fact that there's no laughing track makes it even funnier. So when they have those funny jokes where you're watching it with a bunch of people and you kind of like drown out the entire show because everyone starts laughing. I do like Ron Swanson. I feel like you resonate a lot deeper with him as a character than I do. I like Tom Haverford. Aziz, I'm sorry.
Tom is hilarious.
But also, I want to give credit to Leslie Knope just because of what she can carry as the show.
Leslie's elite. She is.
Yeah. So having her there, way different from Michael, obviously.
Yeah, significantly different.
Way different. Number 4, That 70s Show.
Let's go.
Yeah, you got to have That 70s Show. And I think it's just so funny. I'm not even from Wisconsin, but I feel like people, even though it was a fictitious Wisconsin setting, them being from kind of like, is Wisconsin the Midwest? Is that still considered Midwest?
Hundo P.
Okay. The whole circle dynamic of the camera, like, that is hilarious. Because what's funny is you'll have Kelso just fucking going on some rant. Then it flips to fucking Jackie, who's just obsessed with Kelso.
Think about the careers that were started in that show.
Right?
Ashton Kutcher.
Mila Kunis.
I mean, dude, their careers blew after that. They blew up.
And then you have Donna, who turns into a lesbian on Orange is the New Black.
I don't even care if you were lesbian. Yeah, no, it's so elite.
But, you know, Kitty, Red Foreman.
Kitty and Red were amazing.
And they never knew it. I remember thinking as a kid, too, I'm like, will they ever get caught? And then you catch on, you're like, that's not going to happen.
What's your 3?
Number 3 for me is New Girl. So I love New Girl.
Ooh, okay.
There's something about Nick Miller. I don't know why.
He's so good. I hate that that's like the only one on our list that's left on Netflix.
Yeah, isn't that weird how the whole Netflix thing?
I hate that Parks and Rec and The Office are on Netflix because that 70s show, Parks and Rec and The Office, were always in my rotation of what to fall asleep to at night. And now it's just down to Parks and Rec.
Is there a term for that? Like, is there a term for having that show that you just have on the background that you've seen an episode so many times? And
I don't know. Because there's some shows where it's like, it's on, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen the show a lot, and it's like, well, I don't even remember this episode. Then I thought about it, and it's like, yeah, because you only fall asleep to this show. So you probably just like...
And I feel like you fall asleep at the same time. Like, it takes about like 10 minutes before...
Yeah, and I set the sleep time every night for like a half hour, and it's just like, all right, I'm out like a light. What's your 2?
Number 2. I think you're going to judge me for this. And the only reason why I've seen clips of it, because I had this website that you could download cartoons. I want to go animated. I'll throw on SpongeBob.
I don't judge you for that. My roommate in college, Sam, and I used to literally watch SpongeBob every day.
I just...
It's such a good show.
You talk about memes. So it's going to be sad one day. Whenever we have kids, that's not why it's going to be sad one day, but sorry.
I mean, that's not false.
They're not going to appreciate what SpongeBob is.
No.
Like, some of the stuff, like, think of how many times
Do you think SpongeBob will be canceled for anything by then?
Well, I heard there's one episode that got canceled.
Jesus.
There was an episode where...
Not even SpongeBob is safe.
I think SpongeBob is safe. The episode where they go and raid Mr. Krabs' mom's underwear drawer.
The panty raid.
Yeah! The panty raid. That's been canceled. Yeah, they axed that show.
That's
so apparently
fucked.
On certain...
I don't judge you for that pick at all. That's an elite pick.
Certain digital pick.
It's a Hall of Fame pick. Not going to lie. What's your number 1?
Gotta go The Office.
Okay.
The Office...
Cliche.
I know, but it's... I'm going to speak the truth. Just
I get it.
Because...
I know people who else is number 1 is genuinely number 1. I get it.
Well, I think, too, back to the whole cancel culture. Dude, there is at least 3 jokes per episode that would not be okay. Fly today.
It wouldn't be okay. But like if you have a sense of humor and know that, oh my God, it's comedy and it's not how these guys feel.
Yeah.
And it's just like something to laugh at. Like you don't feel that way.
I don't think
and
so.
If it actually makes you feel that way, don't watch it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's just certain stuff, and I just feel people have to tiptoe around what they say.
Yeah, for sure.
But the fact that, what happened? Sorry. Oh, I thought you hit my leg.
No.
Obviously really high right now. No, The Office was a game changer.
Yeah, it was incredible.
You had the connection between Jim and Pam. Obviously, I thought Ryan was a very underrated character of that show. Everyone hates Ryan, but there was a certain dynamic that he brought as the intern. And then when he was able to get hired on, and then he makes that jump to replace Jan.
Yeah.
And then everyone makes fun of the Pam-Jim relationship. I'll say this really fast.
That's a good relationship.
I think binge watching it, it's not a palpable grasp where, remember back in the day when you had to wait a whole week before a new episode? That's why I think it fit better back then. But I got to go The Office. That's my favorite.
No, I feel it. Listen, guys, enjoy the holiday. Be safe. Have fun with your friends. Share the memes. Like the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the page. At @Aaron_, at Will Galvez, at WOTM Daily, at JP25 Media, Tiki-Taki, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. See you guys tomorrow.